To Kill a Mockingbird film was released in 1962, directed by Robert Mulligan, and is based off the novel written by Harper Lee, published in 1960. The story, based off Harper Lee's own childhood growing up, takes place in a small town in Alabama and is told through the eyes of Jean-Louise Scout Finch. Her father, Atticus Finch, is a white lawyer hired to defend Tom Robinson, a black man falsely accused of raping a white woman. The film portrays rambunctious Scout, her brother Jem, and their friend Dill somewhere together. The children's primary antagonist is rumored crazy neighbor Boo Radley, but as time passes, Scout ages from 6 to 9 years, and the film shows her growing awareness of racism and prejudice in the world. The movie accurately portrays the depression and financial struggle. Finch, a well-off lawyer, is still by no means wealthy in the Depression era. This is primarily because many people cannot afford to pay him. This is shown in the beginning of the film when one man pays him with food instead of money. Additionally, race relations during this time period and setting are very well portrayed. The white people of the town are extremely racist. Before Robinson's trial, a mob of white men came to Robinson's cell to lynch him, a very real reality during the 1930s. The dramatized part of the scene comes into play when the children arrive. One of the poor white men realizes that Atticus' family had fed his son, Walter, dinner, which urges him and the rest to leave. In a real situation, mob violence would not be stopped so easily.
The trial in the film mirrors actual trials that occurred in the 1930s and the 1950s. First, the 1931 Scottsboro trial case, which wrongly accused 9 black teenagers of raping 2 white women, and an all-white, all-male jury voted for 8 of the teens to be killed. And secondly, the 1955 Emmett Till case, where a 14-year-old boy was brutally killed for allegedly flirting with a white woman, and his murderer, the woman's husband, was never tried. At the trial, the Ewell's accusations have faults. Mayella Ewell is especially nervous, and it looks like she is lying. Atticus comes to the rightful conclusion that Mrs. Ewell had been attracted to Robinson and put him in a wrongful situation. During this time period, it was taboo for a black man to love a white woman. It was always believed that a black man craved a white woman, and any sexual relationship meant it was forced by the black man. At the trial, just like the 1931 Scottsboro case, the jury consisted of all white male men, and it took them 2 hours to make a decision. This shows the conflict of the rigid social system during this time period. There were evident faults in the Ewell's case, but the fear of breaking the social norm that a white woman can never be attracted to a black man was a strong enough argument to have Robinson accused of a crime he didn't commit. If Robinson hadn't been accused, this would completely destroy this entire racist viewpoint, and the film shows the South's unwillingness to let it go. The film ends with Bob Ewell, the father of the allegedly raped white woman, attempting to kill Atticus's children, Scout and Jem, on Halloween night. He injures Jem, but it is the so-called insane neighbor, Boo Radley, who kills Ewell and saves the children. Boo Radley's character is traumatized, but the children are returned home safely, and the sheriff does not charge Boo Radley with murder because he knew what Ewell had really done. He unrightfully got Robinson killed.
And I saw someone carrying Jem.
Well, who was it?
Oh, there he is, Mr. Tate. He can tell you his name. Boo?
Miss Jean Louise, Mr. Arthur Radley. I believe he already knows you.
The film takes place in the 1930s, before any civil rights have been passed, and it emphasizes that the Supreme Court should not be needed to prove that a person of a different race is not above nor below a person of another race in court. The film stresses that normal court trials, like the one that took place in the small Alabama town, should bring justice. Unfortunately, during the 1960s, the Supreme Court had to intervene on several occasions to enforce fair treatment of African Americans. Overall, both the novel and the film were sadly very historically accurate. And finally, the reason why both the novel and the film are called To Kill a Mockingbird is because a mockingbird is a harmless, innocent bird, similarly to how Robinson was an innocent man.